Captain Picard, can you help us contact a Vulcan archaeologist named Shinnok? He may possibly hold the key to the discovery of the Lawgiver's fifth scroll.
What is this fifth scroll you mentioned?
Let me give you a bit of background. Caridian society is a rigid structure consisting of two distinct classes, the patricians and the plebeians. For the past 1,000 years, that structure has been governed by the laws derived from the four sacred scrolls. The first scroll outlines our code of honor. The second describes the relationship between the military and the government. The third defines the principles of our religion. And the fourth enumerates the privileges and responsibilities of the patrician class.
But you speak of another scroll.
According to legend, the Lawgiver also wrote a fifth scroll defining the rights and privileges of the plebeian class, which were not explained in the other scrolls.
What makes you think Shinnok can help you?
My studies indicate that the followers ended up somewhere in what is now Federation space. But because our governments are not on friendly terms, I could never follow up on that research. But the Vulcan scholar Shinnok lives in the Federation and has made extensive studies of our history. I believe he may have vital information that will help us locate the followers.
Why are you so interested in this fifth scroll?
I am a scholar, Captain. My interest is purely academic. Lucana, on the other hand, is a social revolutionary. She hopes the scroll will inflame the underclasses to rebellion.
How would an ancient scroll do her any good?
The patricians stopped the Lawgiver before he could reveal his fifth scroll. The Lawgiver and a few of his disciples, known as the Followers, left Gerrid in 5 spaceships to start their own colony. No trace of them was ever found, and the story gradually took on mythic proportions.
Who is the Lawgiver?
His real name was Avatrunai, and he was the architect of Caridian society. His 4 scrolls became the cornerstone of our entire culture. The fifth scroll could be the greatest social discovery in Gerrid's history. Even if you don't agree with Lucana's goals, I urge you to talk to Shinnok and help us find the scroll for science's sake.
This could be an intriguing quest. I sympathize with your cause, but I must inform you that the Federation will not take sides in Gerrid's domestic politics.
Captain Picard, my name is Lucana. On behalf of the oppressed underclasses of Gerrid, I'd like to thank you for rescuing us.
Don't thank me too quickly. You have illegally entered Federation space, and this ship is not a haven for criminals.
I am not a criminal, Captain. I am only seeking justice for my people.
Very well. You may stay on board the Enterprise until we have sorted this matter out.
Do not dismiss me so quickly, Captain. The fate of all Gerrid is hanging in the balance.
Why do you say that?
I am searching for the fifth scroll. It's the only way to give the plebeians the freedom they deserve.
Who are the plebeians?
They are the underclasses of Gerrid, forced by law to serve the patricians, their masters for the past 1,000 years.
Why are you so interested in this fifth scroll?
Finding the fifth scroll will free my people from tyranny because the scroll gives the rights to the plebeians, Gerrid's lower classes. That's why the government doesn't dare let me succeed.
I sympathize with your cause, but I must inform you that the Federation will not take sides in Gerrid's domestic politics.
I had heard that the Federation was a champion of freedom. Perhaps my sources were mistaken.
Captain, we are receiving an emergency transmission from Simcoe 4.
Simcoe 4? Isn't there a research center there?
Yes, sir. The work at Merton's orbital station focuses on power generation. The researchers there are among the best in the Federation.
On screen. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation Starship Enterprise. How can we be of help?
Captain Picard, I am Daneb, Chancellor of Simcoe. We are in need of immediate assistance. Merton's orbital station has been attacked by an unknown vessel and does not answer our hails.
Attacked? But the station is a purely scientific facility.
Is the attacking vessel still present?
We do not know. Whoever or whatever they were, our sensors did not detect them.
Perhaps it was a cloaked Romulan vessel.
I doubt the Romulans would venture this far into Federation territory. The risks are too great.
Captain, you must hurry. The attack has destabilized the station's experimental power core. We don't know how long we have until a core breach, but I can tell you the resulting energy release and radiation would be catastrophic.
What about survivors? Did anyone get off the station?
We detected several escape pods, but we haven't recovered them yet. The pods we detected could hold only a few dozen. There are hundreds aboard the station, including families.
Set course for Simcoe 4. I hope it's not too late.
Thank you, Captain. I hope you arrive in time.
We'll do our best. Picard out. Dr. Crusher.
Crusher here.
Doctor, we may shortly be taking on a large number of wounded, possibly hundreds.
How much time have I got?
Not enough, I'm afraid. Picard out. Miss LaForge?
Yes, Captain.
We're en route to Merton's orbital station. They've been attacked, and they're going to need immediate assistance. See what you can find out about their experimental power core.
I'll see what I can dig up, but the Simconians do some advanced work. It may take a while to figure it all out.
Then I suggest you work quickly. Millions of lives on the planet's surface may be at stake. I expect a full analysis of the situation and our options as soon as we're within sensor range.
Yes, sir.
Engage. Captain's log. We have arrived at the Simcoe system in response to a distress call regarding Merton's orbital station. The station was apparently attacked by unknown forces, leaving it in danger of a power core breach.
We are within sensor range of the Merton's orbital station, sir.
On screen. Miss LaForge?
LaForge here.
Report. What is the condition of the station?
You're looking at what's left of the Merton's orbital station, one of the largest research centers in the Federation. The focus of their work is on power generation. 5 years ago, they built the prototype of an experimental power core, and it's been running the station ever since.
Power generation studies? That doesn't warrant an assault like this.
I've been in contact with Starfleet headquarters. Power generation is only part of what this station studies. For several years, researchers here have been working on new ways to detect cloaked vessels.
If the Romulans discovered this, they might have risked a raid. The Simconians did not detect the attacking ship. It may have been cloaked.
That's speculation, Mr. Worf. We have no proof the Romulans were involved.
Well, whoever it was, something powerful punched through the station's shields and sliced off an entire research wing.
What do you mean, sliced off?
There is insufficient debris in the area to indicate that the missing section was destroyed. It is possible the attackers simply removed it.
Geordi, could that be what destabilized the power core?
No, And that's what I can't figure out. Damage to the upper deck should only cause minor problems, but I'm reading serious power fluctuations. Maybe serious enough to breach the power core's containment field.
What will happen if the containment field fails?
I can't say for certain, but with the amount of energy that thing can put out, I wouldn't want to be around it when it goes.
Is there any way to shut down the core?
There's a fail-safe mechanism which is supposed to jettison the core automatically in an emergency.
I'd say this qualifies as an emergency. Why wasn't the core jettisoned?
The only way to prevent it is by manual override. Someone has to be there to stop it.
That means there's someone still alive in there. Data, are you picking up any life signs?
The station's shielding is interfering with our sensors. I cannot tell if any of the crew are still alive. However, life support is still functioning. But power readings indicate that it may fail at any time.
Dr. Crusher,
Crusher here.
we are nearing Merton's station. Are you prepared for casualties?
My staff is ready to do double shifts. We can handle about 330 emergency cases, but we'll have to beam the rest down to Simcoe.
Understood. What is your recommendation?
We can't do anything from here, but to get an away team aboard, we have to find a way through those shields.
I believe I have a solution. The station's upper shields are badly damaged. If we establish a lock on a transporter on the upper decks, a transporter beam could penetrate the weakened shields.
Once we're in, we should be able to jettison the power core. Then we could lower the station's shields and evacuate the wounded.
Very well, number one. Make it so.
Geordi, I want you and the rest of the away team ready to go in 20 minutes.
We'll be there in 10.
Beam down coordinates selected. Captain Picard, please report to the transporter room. Counselor Troy, please report to the transporter room. Dr. Crusher, please report to the transporter room. Lieutenant Commander LaForge, please report to the transporter room.
It appears we can control the transporter from here. Power surges have caused extensive damage. Life support will fail without a stable power source. We haven't much time. Power surges have caused... This access shaft goes down to engineering and the power core. This catwalk crosses the energy conduits. She's alive. She's alive. That won't... That cable must have fallen during the attack. I seriously doubt we'll be able to move it by brute force. It's a data transfer line. It seems to have been damaged by weapons fire.
This cable's built for handling information, not energy. I'm surprised it didn't just vaporize when it was hit.
Her life signs are fading, but she is alive.
She's got multiple fractures in both legs. The bones in the lower part of her left leg are shattered. She's in shock and there's some internal bleeding. All things considered, she's very lucky. I can take care of the worst of her injuries here, but I'd like to get her to sickbay. I can't do anything for her until...
That's as close as I could cut it without endangering her. I wouldn't try it. If that cable shifts, we could kill her. That's a high-capacity data transfer cable.
We may be able to use the station's transporter for point-to-point beaming inside the station. We already have the coordinates. Let's get to the transporter room.
I don't see anything special about it.
That takes care of the worst of her injuries. She's coming around now. How do you feel?
I'll manage. You're from Starfleet, aren't you?
Yes. We're from the Enterprise. Try not to move. I've stopped the bleeding and given you something for the pain, but your legs are in bad shape.
You're right. Multiple fractures, probable lacerations. I'm Anna Bennett, Chief Medical Officer. We've got a lot of wounded here, some worse off than me. How many can you evacuate?
Our sickbay can handle any emergency cases. The rest we can beam down to the planet, but we can't begin transport until we lower the station's shields.
We can't do that until we stabilize or jettison the power core.
How many wounded are there?
I can't give you an accurate count, but the first attack destroyed an entire wing. I was headed for sickbay when we were hit again.
Do you know who or what did this?
We never knew what hit us. There was an initial attack which lasted maybe 10 minutes. Later there was a hull breach and the power systems went crazy. I don't remember anything after that. I passed out.
What did you mean when you said the power systems went crazy?
It's this insane experiment Dr. Greaves and some of the other researchers put in place. A revolutionary power source. It's unstable enough to begin with. After sustaining damage like this, who knows what it'll do?
We've picked up some rather large power fluctuations. Is that normal?
How should I know? Those maniacs. You know what they've got down there? They plugged the biggest research station in the quadrant into a singularity, a black hole.
Then why the instability? I thought most singularities were stable.
Greaves came up with some scheme to increase the energy output. Something about gravity waves. I don't know all the details, but it involved destabilizing the containment field.
We'll get you beamed out of here as soon as possible. Don't try to move. You may aggravate your injuries.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm aware of that. I'll stay put.
Well, then I'll trust your professional judgment. We'll be back once we've restored life support and lowered the shields.
Wait a minute. Life support is failing? What's wrong with it? It wasn't damaged in the attack.
Main power is fluctuating so wildly that it's disrupting the life support systems.
I warned them about using an inherently unstable power source, but I never thought it would come to this.
We can probably stabilize life support if we can switch to emergency power.
The only place you can do that is in station administration, and you'll need the security code to access the emergency systems. It's 334L42.
Thank you.
Anytime. Good luck.
The panel's badly damaged. Unfortunate. If this holotable were functional, we could get a full damage report. The panel's badly damaged.
Looks like a power surge knocked out the holotable. I could fix it if we had more time, or if I had a flux router, I could bypass the damage completely. I think we're in luck. This life support console's still active. I think we're in luck.
Perhaps we can access the power core's emergency systems from the central control area.
Amazing. It's using a plasma suspension beam to draw energy straight out of the main conduits. Wait a minute. I had readings of neutronium hull and internal energy, but now all I can pick up are natural elements. It's sending false readings to our tricorders. It's like a chameleon. It disguises itself perfectly. If we weren't here to see it, we'd never know it was here. It could probably fool our ship sensors just as easily. This chameleon field seems to take a fraction of a second to adjust to new scanning frequencies. If I set the tricorder to randomly shift frequencies at high speed... There. I'm getting a partial reading now. Yep, it's a neutronium hull, all right, and a powerful energy source. I've never seen that much power in such a small package before.
Perhaps we can access the power...
I'd sure like to get a look at that power core. Just one of these conduits could handle the entire energy output of the Enterprise. Look at this damage report. Only a few very specific sections were hit. No random damage at all. This wasn't an attack. This was surgery.
It's Lieutenant Commander Jordan. It looks as though one section was entirely removed. I wonder what they were after. What the devil is that? It almost looks like a ship of some kind.
Maybe if we cut off the power for a moment, it would disengage from the conduit.
Fascinating. There's an auxiliary control panel here that seems to be in working order. Picard to Enterprise. Status.
We picked up a burst of energy on the engineering deck. We're now tracking a small object leaving the station at high speed. Sensor readings say it's an asteroid.
A small asteroid?
We ran a full diagnostic on the sensors. No malfunctions.
The device has a means of sending false readings to sensors and tricorders.
That's better than cloaking. If it's Romulan, we've got a real problem. The object is moving to warp speed. If we pursue, we won't be able to rescue the survivors on the station.
Understood. Keep me informed. Picard out.
The jettison system has a manual override. That means there's someone still manning the controls.
It looks like the casing has been vaporized.
You have an uncanny sense of timing.
I beg your pardon.
Timing, I said. You have fine timing. The one instant I cannot afford to be distracted, and in barges all of Starfleet.
Manual override's been activated on the core jettison panel. We'll have to deactivate it to jettison. I think he's adjusting the containment field strength on the fly, but nobody could make the calculations that fast. I'm Geordi LaForge, Chief Engineer of the Enterprise. We're here to help.
Thanks for the offer, but I haven't time to instruct Starfleet in the intricacies of singularity-driven power generation, so kindly stop distracting me.
There was a large machine of some kind on the power conduit just outside this door. What was it?
I can't imagine. There shouldn't be anything attached to the main conduits except where they connect to the distribution net. What did it look like?
It was big, about 15 meters long. It had some kind of neutronium alloy shell and was very well armed.
Neutronium? Armed? We have nothing like that here. It must have been left by the ship that attacked us. Where is it now?
It just cut a hole in the hull and left. I'll bet that's how it came in, too.
Well, that explains the damage to the conduits and the energy fluctuations. I wonder what it was doing.
Dr. Greaves, I'm chief engineer on a Galaxy-class starship. It's my job to work miracles.
Have you seen a system like this before?
I'm not sure. It looks like some kind of gravity wave power source. But how can you generate gravity waves of this magnitude?
A little something I got from the Romulans. We've got an artificial singularity bottled up down there, and by varying the strength of the containment field, I was able to increase the magnitude of the gravity waves.
But now that something's got the energy flow out of phase with the containment field, we've got to get the energy flow back in phase immediately.
Not bad for a Starfleet officer. You may be of some use after all. You see, the only reason the field's held up this long is because I've been here manually compensating for the fluctuations.
Sounds like you could use an extra pair of hands. Listen, I'll handle the conduit, you maintain the containment field.
I'll keep the containment field up as long as I can. I see you already have a phase inverter and a wave reduction converter. Good, you'll need them.
A phase inverter? But that'll just make the fluctuations reverse. Unless... if we use the wave reduction converter to dampen them, the reversal will actually work in our favor.
Smarter than you look. Install the phase inverter coupling in the damaged area. Then use the wave reduction converter to bring the fluctuations down. If I can keep the containment field up, we should make it.
I'm on my way. Enterprise.
Go ahead.
We've stabilized the power core. The outer shields should be lowered now.
Good. We'll get the evacuation started immediately.
Great. That means we're done here. Beam us up.
Acknowledged.
We are being hailed, sir. It is Chancellor Daneb.
On screen.
Captain Picard, you have my warmest thanks. We had really given up hope.
We are pleased to have been able to help. Have you recovered all the pods yet?
My staff tells me all the evacuees are safe and sound, and my compliments to your medical staff. Our surgeons were quite impressed with Dr. Crusher's handiwork.
I'll pass that along. The last of the injured personnel should be beamed down within the hour.
I think we can handle it from here. By the way, Dr. Greaves personally extends his gratitude. He felt he owed you and your crew an apology.
Tell him we accept his apology. Picard out.
What are your orders, Captain?
Set course for the Ruinor sector and resume our patrol along the neutral zone.
Yes, sir.
Admiral Williams here. What can I do for you, Captain?
What's your assessment of our recent performance?
The Enterprise responded to a distress call from Merton Station. Good work there, Picard. Without your efforts, this could have been a real catastrophe. You saved hundreds of lives, kept the station operational, and even managed to save the experimental power core. Congratulations. Shall I go on?
Please do.
The Enterprise's presence in this region has set a lot of minds at ease, but I'm still concerned about the Romulan activity in the area. Look sharp, Captain.
What is the current situation, Admiral? Is there anything in particular we should be aware of?
Actually, things are relatively quiet right now. The only cause for concern is all the Romulan activity in the area.
Picard out.
I feel I should apologize for my mother's actions, Captain.
Your mother?
Yes, my mother is Pentara, the captain of the Asirum. It was her vessel you confronted when she had my scout ship in her tractor beam.
Why is your own mother trying to kill you?
She is only doing her duty. I know she doesn't want to kill me, but she is under orders to prevent Lucana from finding the Lawgiver's fifth scroll.
Why are you so interested in this fifth scroll?
Because I believe in Lucana's crusade. Even though I was born a patrician, Lucana has made me aware of the plebeian suffering. The fifth scroll would give them a more honorable place in Garidian society.
I sympathize with your cause, but I must inform you that the Federation will not take sides in Garid's domestic politics.
And we are not asking you to do so, Captain. When the time comes, we will fight that battle ourselves.
Captain Picard, it is imperative that you help us find the Lawgiver's fifth scroll.
The fifth scroll could be the greatest
I have decided to visit Shinnok and see whether he can help you regarding the fifth scroll.
Thank you for agreeing to visit Shinnok, Captain. The fifth scroll could be the greatest social discovery in Garid's history.
Understood. We will be underway at once. I will let you know when we arrive. Mr. Worf, inform Starfleet that we will be assisting the Garidians in their search.
Aye, sir.
Computer, what are the current whereabouts of the Vulcan archaeologist Shinnok?
According to Federation archaeological survey records, Shinnok is currently excavating ruins on the planet Horst 3.
Set course for Horst 3, Warp 5.
Aye, sir. Standard orbit.
Greetings, Shaynock. I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Captain, how may I assist you?
What brings an archaeologist of your stature to such a remote planet?
I am excavating the ruins of a Chodak outpost. The Federation Archaeological Survey is sponsoring my work.
Who are the Chodak?
An ancient race. At their peak, the Chodak occupied most of what is now the Romulan Empire. But I thought all known Chodak ruins were on the other side of the neutral zone.
This is the first Chodak site found in Federation space. It was my good fortune to discover it.
What have you found so far?
A great deal, actually. I have uncovered evidence of an extensive administrative system, as well as examples of Chodak computer technology quite similar to our own isolinear rods.
Intriguing. Such devices would be among the oldest known examples of isolinear technology in the galaxy.
I hope to confirm that fact. I sent several rods to the Mertens orbital station for testing. They've developed a gravitic stress dating method which is extremely accurate. However, I have not yet received their results.
I'm afraid we have got some bad news for you, Shaynock. Mertens station has been attacked. It was almost completely destroyed.
Indeed. That is a great loss.
Shaynock, we have several Garidian refugees aboard who are trying to find something called the Fifth Scroll. They said you might be able to help.
Possibly. I once did extensive research on the Lawgiver and the Followers. They fled into what is now Federation space 1,000 years ago, bearing the Fifth Scroll with them.
We've heard of them. So where did these followers go?
I never found the Followers' colony, but your friends should not lose hope. In my search, I stumbled on one of the Followers' ancient ships. The logs indicated that they had found an M-class planet suitable for colonization.
Thank you for your help, Shaynock. Good luck.
And to you, Captain. Live long and prosper.
What are your orders, Captain?
Set course for the Ruinor sector and resume our patrol along the neutral zone.
Yes, sir.